everyone, and welcome back to the UIW Football Peck Em Podcast. My name is Jonathan Guajardo, and I will be one of your hosts for this podcast for today, and I'm joined by my co-host.
As usual, Juan Marcos Peña, and a bunch of other names after Marcos, but that's not about me. We also have a very distinguished guest with us, a special guest.
Absolutely. Would you like to welcome?
Hey guys, I'm Morgan Huizar. I'm a second-year student at Incarnate Word and a logos writer.
Awesome.
You know, no one special.
No, that's pretty special. That was pretty special, man.
You know, Mr. Mercer, man, that's special right there.
Yeah,
Exactly. The legend himself.
Johnny and I used to write and shoot photos for the logo, so we're happy with us, and we're happy that you're our guest today. And thank you so much for joining us. Actually,
yes. Thank you for having me on the show. Thank you for having me.
So you're a second-year student, and what are your goals, ambitions, anything?
So
as of right now.
Okay, yeah. So I actually of course, I'm a communication arts student with a focus in multimedia journalism. And my goal with that is to be a sports broadcaster.
Awesome. That's awesome.
So my end goal would be to get to ESPN. Right now, I am currently assisting with the production truck. So any of those games that you see broadcasted on ESPN, I probably have a hand in that, except for the football games. You can usually catch me on the end zones, on TV, on camera, in the end zone during football games. So, you know, if you see me, I'm usually wearing a red polo, black communication arts shirt, whatever. I'm usually in the end zone.
That's awesome. That's awesome. It's good to have you here, especially because you're right there on the field for like every game, you know, and so you get that kind of like, you know, up close and personal feel for the game.
And you're getting experience as well. And I've been fortunate to been to a couple of FBS ESPN trucks as well.
Okay.
And it was a really cool experience. They're always really unique. They're a really cool company to work with, and it's really cool that you're getting some experience there, because God knows we didn't get that experience when we were
Well,
right.
Now you got it. So that's amazing. That's dope. That's
right. You growing.
That's super awesome. Like it's super cool that UIW is evolving, and now we're D1, and it's super awesome for Johnny and I to, hear that from you.
Absolutely.
I've been hearing some big rumors about our football team. So I don't know if we want to get into that later, but of course, if we can't, then we can save it for a later date.
I absolutely want to hear that. I think we want to hear that for sure. And
yes.
What kind of rumors you listening to right now?
Yeah.
So,
what's going on?
Back to this past weekend, but you already brought it up. What we got?
What's happening?
What's the scoop? What's the inside scoop?
So for the last couple of years, there's been rumors that the UIW football team is leaving the Southland Conference to go to the WAC.
Yeah.
And I've been hearing that, and that's kind of picked up steam over the last year or so. But right now, because we're in season and everybody's focused on bringing us a championship to San Antonio, right now the rumor is not there. Right now, they're just focused on bringing that championship to San Antonio. But that's what I've been hearing, and I don't know if it's gonna happen, but if it does, that's gonna be a huge stepping stone for our football team.
Yeah, that's awesome you said that, and because I think also like last year we said something, we heard something similar. A little birdie may or may not have told us.
Little Cardinal,
and that's still alive right now. So hey, man, you never know. You never.
I mean,
the WAC is back.
It's possible. It's possible. I mean, I know we kind of flirted with the idea before, and then ultimately stayed with Southland. It'd be interesting to see if we end up with the WAC and doing all the WAC is a very historic conference, obviously. So that'd be something to look out for. But yeah, like you said, like, you know, we're here in the Southland. The team's obviously focused on bringing home that trophy this year and everything. But I mean,
Which we should have brought 2 years ago. Okay, but the refs kind of screwed us over in that playoff game.
the Lindsey Scotland.
And I'm not saying they screwed us over this past weekend. Just kind of segueing in, but
You can say that. That's okay. We can totally say that.
You know, there was a little funny business going on this past weekend. So let's get into that.
Yeah,
we're trying to win shit. We're trying to win the shit for you, San Antonio.
Yeah.
We're trying to win all that here. This match in 45-24, but the 45 doesn't tell everything.
No,
definitely not.
So last night I was at the communication arts department has started a run club at Almost Basin Park. So, you know, everybody from communication arts department and their friends can come out, chit chat with other people. You can run, you can walk, you can run the long 4.5-mile trail that's kind of away from the park, away from the pavement. Or you can just sit and relax, enjoy the music that we have. We have also partnered with our great friends at Alma Heights Nutrition, and they brought out some delicious hydration drinks, sugar-free. I told the guy that was there last night, it tasted like Capri Sun. It brought me back to my childhood. So, yeah, it was a fun time last night. And, the story I wanted to bring up is that I was talking to one of our defensive linemen who was at the event last night. And, you know, he was kind of bringing up the game. And, you know, of course, he kind of aired his frustrations. He vented his frustrations to me. I listened to him, and then he said, "Oh yeah," and the players on the other side knew that the refs kind of were not on our side as well, and they were kind of like looking at us like, "Oh, sorry, that's happening to you guys."
Wow.
So even North or South Dakota State knew, that the refs kind of were not in our favor.
Yeah, it was pretty obvious when watching the game. There were several calls, and I know you and I were texting back and forth about it when like this was going on, kind of venting about the frustration. But like there was so many times when either a flag should have been called or a flag was thrown on UIW that was uncalled for, and so now we can't take it back. Unfortunately, it happened. But I mean, I don't know. It's, you know, whenever we go up north to the Montanas, the Dakotas, you know, or Montana and the Dakotas, it's one of those things where I always get a little nervous about the refereeing, especially because I mean, you know, but it was pretty blatant that game. I think UIW had about 100 yards of penalties against them to SDSU 71. So I mean, they both had a lot, but UIW, you know, took a lot of penalties.
Those penalties were also like a little ticky tacky. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Very little ticky tacky. It was just.
I'm glad you guys brought that up. So earlier before I came on, so UIW Athletics has started a new, kind of like a new show in a way on YouTube, called Walk with a Coach or something along those lines. Nice. So they have a guy in their department that goes to the football field, meets with a head coach, Clint Hilo, and they talk about the game, you know, if they lost, in which this past week, in which this case they did lose. So they would talk about then what, you know, what can they do better, how they can do better, and stuff like that. And he said, you know, the score really doesn't reflect how well we did. He said we played 45 minutes or 60 minutes of football, right? That's 15. Yeah, okay, my math is off. I apologize. He said we played 45 minutes of good football. It's just those last 15 minutes that kind of, you know, he's big into the fundamentals of football, and they have some pillars that go by. The 5 pillars, he calls it: winning with intention, winning with intention, trust, and love, and winning with the intentional fundamentals, something along those lines. And he said, we just got to get back to the basics. We gotta win with intention. We gotta, just do the little stuff better. And we should. He said, he didn't say we should, but he said if we do those things, then we can come out of Illinois with the W.
Nice. Yeah, that's awesome, and that's definitely a really cool segment to promote as well, because I definitely want to check that out. This walking with the coach, it sounds awesome.
Yes.
And so that's on the UIW TV YouTube, you were saying?
So if you go to UIW Athletics,
okay,
on YouTube, it's on there.
UIW Athletics. Okay, awesome.
Yes.
Awesome.
Yeah. So I thought that was really cool, and he's one of the questions that was asked. He said, "What did you say to the team after the game?" And he said, I wasn't mad, I wasn't upset, I was very upbeat. I was, the guys were clearly upset, understandably upset about how that game ended, and so I just wanted to go in there and make sure and hone in on those good parts, those good time, those good quarters, and then bring to light the little things that we're gonna fix and that are fixable in practice. So we're gonna make sure that this entire week we fix those things because those things are fixable. So he mentioned just the penalties that were called, and he said those things are fixable. We're gonna fix those, and you're gonna see it on Saturday.
Awesome. Yeah, that's a really good mentality of like fixing the things you can fix, prepping for the next week, not getting stuck in this rut of this one loss, but looking to the rest of the season. I like that. That's really, really good to hear, actually.
Yeah. So and that's the one thing that I've always kind of admired about Coach Kilo. He's always determined, like every coach, but like there's something different about this guy. I was talking to some of the guys after the selection show, where, in my opinion, UIW got snubbed.
In our opinion too.
yeah, where they got snubbed. I mean, sure. I just don't get how teams with 4 losses get in, but teams with 2 teams like us with 2 losses, we don't get in. Like, I don't know. But anyway, I talked to some of the guys after that show, and they were saying, Kilo, he wasn't upset. He didn't look upset. He was actually very motivational, and they actually expressed to me that in the off-season workouts that he was actually more determined than ever. There was kind of a bigger fire lit under him, if that makes sense, and he's just so determined, and you can see it in the way he walks, he talks, and the way his guys are, even around the campus. I talk to them, because it's hard not to bump into them when it's such a small campus. Yeah. And he's like, and they're like, "Oh yeah, Kilo's ready. We're ready," And I don't think I could have said that about the team last year.
That's awesome. That's awesome. That's really good to hear. And I think, to me, and when I heard, this is a few years, obviously 2 years ago, but when I heard that Kilo was going to be the coach for UIW, the biggest thing that stuck out to me was, one, he's an alum. He's been with this program. He's played at UIW. And this is after going, and having some remarkable coaches in Eric Morris and Kinney. But, they didn't stick around for very long, And so having someone like Kilo who's committed to UIW, but also committed to these players to sticking through it, I think that makes a big difference in the locker room kind of attitude. At least that's kind of what I've noticed as well.
Yeah, and I'm glad you brought that up. They did retain offensive coordinator Connor McQueen, who averaged 400 plus yards last season, or I'm not exact on the number, but I think it was around that number. Jim Gush, defensive coordinator, we all know his story, where he's from, who he's coached with, the legendary coaches he's been with throughout his entire career. You know, and he said that he's you know, he loves the city, he loves the boys in the locker room, and it makes his job is so easy when he has the group that he has. So I thought that was really cool.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's really cool to hear. And you know, yeah, we have a great staff overall. And it's one of those things where, like, you know, when we go through a loss like this, it kind of makes me feel a bit more comfortable, because I'm like, all right, you know, I know we got the right staff, I know we got the right coach, you know, our players are all, you know, I know we got the right players, they've all bought in, you know, and it makes me, it's one of those things where I'm like, all right, I'm not that worried about this. Let's keep going. Let's get to SIU. Let's get a conference play and move on.
You're right. Yeah, no, and I'm glad you brought that up too, because like I said, I was talking to one of the defensive linemen last night, and he was telling me, he was like, yeah, you know, we played very well, and it's just that one quarter that got away from us, but we're ready. And I said, you know, I said sarcastically, I was like, hey, give me your best game plan, or what's the game plan for Saturday? And he told me, you know, they got a quarterback that that can run really well, but maybe lacks it a little bit in the passing department.
Absolutely.
So they're confident that they can stop the pass when it comes. It's just stopping that run with the, you know, those D linemen.
Absolutely, yeah. And we're talking about that. Oh, you got it. You got it.
Also, I think too. I mean, I hate to say it, but I mean, we're also, our team from last year is not the same this year. We have a lot of new players. We have a lot of new people who came in. You know what I'm saying? So we had a lot of you know, so we're still kind of learning each other, I think.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So, but you know, Darius and Mason were amazing on defense. Oh, the whole defense, as much as they could. That as much as we could do it, you know, the fourth quarter kind of let it slip away, along with some.
Josh Gonzalez is back on the D line, big number 99.
Yeah, yeah, no, for sure. Yeah, then Mason Chambers and Darius Sanders let it. They you know, they made their voice, they made their bodies be heard. You know what I'm saying? 7 solo tackles, 6 solo tackles. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, but we're still learning, I guess, to be a unit. But they're very good. But they're very good early on, in my opinion, as a unit. And
exactly
on the offensive side, because even on the offensive side, you know, Jalen and Roy, like, we still got Jalen. Jalen got a 69-yarder hit. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Yep. I guess the number one team in America. You know what I'm saying? Like,
exactly.
So,
and
you know,
Calzada.
I mean, Calzada showed up too. He outshowed Grunzowski to be, you know, in my opinion, you know, 31, 39 complete, 351 yards, 3 touchdowns, and no interception.
Right. And you know, it's crazy when you mention that, and it still results in a loss.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and it's not often that you'll see on a stat line a quarterback that goes 31 for 39, 351 yards, and 3-4 touchdowns, something like that.
Yeah.
And they still lose the game. So it's kind of.
Yeah. No, I mean, you're not wrong. Our rushing wasn't there. Their rushing was.
Yes.
But I mean, yeah, it's just a couple of different, you know, call here, call there. It might have been a different game, but you know what? We were tied in the third quarter against the number 1 team.
17-17.
As a 12 number 1 versus 12. So I think that shows more about I think it shows more about I don't know what the right term is, but it shows a lot for us and it shows a lot for them.
It shows a lot of character about this UIW team and how the season's gonna go.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yes.
If we're a number one team, just like South Dakota, to just kind of run over teams that were in our position in the past,
Right?
To be like neck and neck, and sure they pulled away in the fourth quarter, but again, a couple different things. But I'm not. It is what it is. I'm not gonna go more into it, but it is what it is. But
I kind of, and before we move on, I want to, one of the other key points that Kilo brought up in that video that I was mentioning earlier, he said, maybe 5 plays here and there with the penalties, the fumble that doesn't get reviewed, in several other calls, he said maybe, 3 other calls besides that, this is a whole different ball game.
Yeah.
It could go in our favor.
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
But
that's another thing that he mentioned in that video that I thought was very interesting.
Oh,
Yeah.
that is. I mean, yeah, it is. But at the same time, unfortunately, that's just the way the game goes.
Unfortunately, yeah.
Unfortunately, but as one of our favorite bloggers, websites that cover FCS sports, Hero Sports. They're saying the same thing that Johnny and I have been talking about all week, is that this week will also tell us more or less how UIW is, and how even our opponent's going to be.
Right.
Sitting at number 8 right now. We dropped down a little bit. We dropped down 2 spots. We dropped down to UIW. UIW dropped down to 14. Sorry.
Okay.
And, and Southern Illinois is number 8. But I mean, the way we've been playing the past couple games, we're gonna give Southern Illinois some money, some a run for the money, actually. So.
I think we will. I'm looking at some of the stats, and so Southern Illinois played Austin Peay last week, and Austin Peay's now 0-2. And AP, they had about 292 yards passing on SIU. So, I mean, for Calzada, that's a big weak spot. I mean, he can look at that pass defense and then try to find some areas to sling it through there. And we know what he's done, what he's capable of doing, what he did even against the number 1 team in the nation. And we've seen what he does against Northern Colorado, and then, of course, last year as well. So looking at that, I mean, I think that's a big key for UIW is, to capitalize on the passing game of Zach and let him air it out, and then also kind of get our ground game up and going, which I think we'll be able to against SIU.
Right.
And kind of balance out the offense so we can have a lot of passing, get some running in, keep the defense of SIU on their feet. But yeah, I mean, I think there's a lot to look for this game.
And like you mentioned, that running game, we have most of the running backs from last year's team.
Yep.
They're back this season. So like you guys had mentioned on the last episode, we have DeKalen Taylor back.
My boy.
He was. Yeah,
right.
I love that. Great guy, good kid. I can't say enough good things about that guy. He's so humble, just a great human being, and just the guy that you see on the field. That's how he is off the field.
That's awesome. That's awesome. It's awesome. Yeah.
And just a great guy, and he's a leader in that locker room. Besides Calzada, and he's one of the leaders. But I want to give you guys, I don't know if you guys know this, about Jarrell Wiley. He has been dealing with a high ankle sprain.
Okay.
Ooh.
Yeah. So that's why he has not been playing. It's not about a lack of practice, it's not about practice, the way he practices, the way he is toward the coaches. It's just an injury that happened in fall camp, and our trainer Augie Melendez is working very hard to make sure that Jarrell Wiley gets back on the field.
Yeah, safely.
Very quickly.
Yeah.
But, not too quick to the point where he re-injures his ankle.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
So he has been dealing with a high ankle sprain. So I thought I would let you guys in on that.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Good to hear.
And then but
as long as he returns safely and we can get him at a good 90 to 100%, hopefully 100%. But I know he can't go 100% right off the bat. But at least when he starts playing, at least he's at a good 90-ish area. And
I don't know if you guys know this as well. Last year, Calzada missed because of a rotator cuff sprain.
Yeah.
So even when he came back, he was still dealing with that sprain. He was never 100% that rest of the season. He played through that.
Yeah. That's why still throwing bombs.
Oh yeah, absolutely. He was tearing it up.
Yeah, and he still teared it up. He played well. Besides the 9 interceptions, but we can look past that.
Hey man.
Look past that.
We'll look past that. But now
Zach's averaging 300 last year. Let's do it. That's fine. Sling it.
That's right. I'll keep throwing the ball.
Zach's my guy. Another great guy. Humble dude. Every time I bring up that famous game that he was involved in before he arrived on campus, he's like, "Oh, it wasn't just me; it was the whole team." So
that's awesome.
So he's very humble, great kid. I remember one time I was leaving class, and then he was going in his car, and he stopped. He said hi to me. He got out of his car with cars behind him and took a picture with me, and then left.
That's awesome. That's really cool.
That's pretty cool.
So we see these guys, and I know it's so cool. D1 players in their uniforms, and we the younger kids look at them as these superheroes that that you want to be like them someday. But like one of the things that I want to bring out when I talk to them is the human side of them, because they get so caught up in being that football player, but nobody knows the human side of them.
That's right. That's awesome.
So and of course, when I was a little kid, I was like that. But now that I know them and whatever, I'm like, oh, that's just my friend. Cool story. I know I'm just rambling. I apologize.
Keep going.
But
Tony says the same thing about me. So
hey, but I ramble too. We both ramble.
But last year I turned 19. I'll be 20 in 60 days.
Hey, there you go.
Nice.
Yeah. So
happy early birthday.
I had a little birthday. I had a little.
Hopefully by then.
Yes. So I had a little birthday party here at the house with a friend, with some close family friends. And one of the guys that I invited, he went to A&M. And, he was a huge fan of Calzada and all that fun stuff. And so I was like, hey, just follow me on Instagram. Right. So he followed me on Instagram. And he looked, because how it says, who you follow, right? Or who that person follows, right? On the Instagram. Well, he saw that Calzada followed me, and he started freaking out, and he was like, "You have Calzada following you?" And I'm like, "Yeah, that's my homie. Of course I do." And he's like, so he went on and on about it. So, yeah, but that's just the good person that Calzada is.
Good to hear.
Awesome. No, that is awesome to hear. A little side note. So I'm a professor at Texas A&M in College Station, and so I was actually at that game, that the Calzada game, was the Alabama win, And I'll never forget, hearing the crowd of 100,000 chanting Calzada, Calzada. And then he gets up, and I was like, all right, something special is going to happen. I knew it,
Yeah. Yes. And Kilo, I'm glad you brought that up. That also reminds me another key point that they tackled in that video was he was proud of the guys to be able to go in there, compete very well, especially in front of 19,000 rowdy people.
Oh, absolutely.
So,
that's a big crowd.
Yeah. So he was very pleased with the guys and how they competed, and he wasn't upset. He was very upbeat, and he was very encouraged about this team.
Oh yeah, especially with again going back to it, man. He's just slinging that rock. I keep saying that I feel like slinging that rock. What I say all the time.
It's the best way to describe it.
31, 39, 351. Like
he balled out.
Like I said earlier, like that's wild. That's that crazy stat with the 69 yarder. Like
exactly.
That's a wild thing to say that like this team lost.
I think it's only one.
But you know what? Looking ahead though, I mean, I feel like he's still gonna get that same number this weekend.
I think so. I think they get higher.
He's gonna be pretty close to it, or not, if not higher. To be honest with you.
Okay, one last point.
Yeah.
Okay, so I just saw a stat before I got on here from our wide receivers coach, Willis White, and he posted that Roy Alexander and Jalen Hall combined for 265 of the 351 yards.
Oh wow! Yeah, that's what we were talking about. And I was saying like, man, we got that 1-2 punch, like with that
exactly
that 1-2 punch, and then. You know what? Even if our rushing game is not like doing it like at a particular game, just like last game, Taylor still had 4 receptions for 29 yards. Like
exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Got a 12-yarder, got a first down. I mean, so he's still trying to. Isaiah too. Isaiah was our number 4 receiving as well.
Yeah.
He had 3 for 21. He got us another. You know what I'm saying? Like.
Exactly.
You know, even if our rushing's not working out, like they're gonna find a way to still get these 2 rushers the ball. But Jalen and Roy, it's that 1-2 punch. 137, 128, 2 touchdowns, 1 touchdown, 3 total. Longest 69-35. Man,
that's right.
And don't
bad boys right there. That's some bad.
Don't count out Compton.
Oh yeah. No, not at all. Yeah.
And Lorick.
Yeah. No.
Amazing dudes who work their tails off.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, no, they're really good. Compton helped us out the last game before this, so it was.
Yep.
Right.
That's right. Yeah, it was. Well,
I predict this upcoming game to be.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna ask.
Yeah, I predict this upcoming game. I think it's UIW is gonna win. Obviously, I'm a homer.
Oh,
obviously, UIW. I think it's gonna be 38-24 around there. 38-24 is my pick, my number.
38, what'd you say? 38?
24.
24.
It might even be a little higher, but I'm going to say 38-24.
All right. You know, I got mine down. I got 45-28.
That's a good one. Yeah.
I feel like Calzado's going to come out hot in the second half and begin like we've been saying, slinging that rock deep. Slinging that rock deep and then rack up some crazy numbers in that second half, especially. So yeah, I'm seeing 45-28.
I got our boys taking care of business in Carbondale, 45-17. Calzada is going to throw for 380 yards with 4 touchdowns, 2 rushing, and the Kalen Taylor is going to have another big game.
Nice. Yeah. That's a great prediction.
That was specific. That was more specific.
I know. I like that. That was specific.
Yes, and Roy Alexander. One of the things that I found interesting, just talking to Coach Kilo behind the scenes, he brought up Jalen Hall and how great of a receiver he is, and of course he brought up a little bit of Roy Alexander, but of course that was the first game, so I really didn't know too much of those guys considering that they're new. But after seeing those two and how they performed since then, Watch out, Southland Conference. Watch out.
Yeah, dude.
That's right.
Especially with Calzada just throwing the way he's throwing. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yes.
he had a good first game. He really did.
Yes.
But I mean, the score could have been higher. But he had but again, it goes back to the unit. It's just filling it out. There's only so much practice you can do is when you get to a real game situation, and they still pulled it out. And you know what? After after last game, Calzada kind of on the first game, Calzada, 3 different players had different receiving touchdowns, I believe.
Yep.
Not including the rushing, but everybody had a little taste. And last game, same thing. And you're not right. Like it's gonna be pretty scary. It's gonna be pretty scary for the rest of the teams that we're playing.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm upset we don't get to play ACU this year.
Yeah,
I know. I'd like that. That could be a rivalry. Like I see that as a rivalry.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh man, but there are a couple of really cool games this week, and I've kind of like pinpointed about 5 of them here. For us to make our picks.
We got to do our new segment, one of our new segments.
Okay, yeah. We'll do our heroes in the hill first.
Yeah, our heroes on the hill, our Benson aka Benson Badasses,
aka Benson Badasses.
That's our player of the week.
New one.
Johnny, I mean, we already talked about majority of them. They're all badasses, obviously, all right? They're all
they're all badasses.
But Johnny, who's your Benson Badass of the week?
All right, so for me, my Benson Badass of the week, we've talked, a ton about Zach Calzada, 351 yards, 3 TDs, 43 yards rushing with an average of 6.1. Calzada, like what we've been saying, slinging that rock all over the field. My badass, or my Benson Badass for the week is Zach Calzada.
Mine is that's obviously a really good one. Mine, my boy Jalen Walthall, like 7 for 137, 2 touchdowns. Got that long range at 69. That's my badass of the week.
So
Corey?
I'm gonna go complete opposite of you guys.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm picking my guy Tylan Foster.
Ooh, okay.
Averages 10 tackles a game.
Yeah.
He's all over that field. I know that one game was canceled for unfortunate circumstances. My condolences to that team and the way their season ended. But if that game hadn't gotten canceled, he would have had 100 tackles on the season. And that's just unheard of on any level.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That is a great pick.
No, that's a great. He already has 3 solo tackles this past game individually.
Yeah.
But Foster is like one of those guys that like the stats might not show it, but when you're watching, you're like, oh, that guy changed.
Yeah. You see him being called all the time.
That butterfly effect type thing. Like, it's like, oh,
yes,
he did this that allowed this.
Yes.
Yeah,
he does things that doesn't show up on the scoring sheet, if that makes sense.
That's
right.
No,
exactly. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. He does the things that like the behind the scenes, I guess you could say.
Exactly.
It might not be a Sports Center top 10, but if you're watching, you're like, oh, like that dude changes the game.
And whenever there's a call being called, he how they have that new stallion rule, which is the headset communication.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I don't quote me directly on this, but I think for us it's Tylan Foster that gets the calls on defense.
Wow, that's
right.
awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So obviously a huge team leader, and 10 tackles per game averaging is a big stat. I mean, it's a big stat to look at there.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think it's a great choice, and obviously brings a lot of momentum to the game, integral to the defense. So yeah, great pick.
He kind of went down at the last game, and I held my breath for a second, and then I saw him walking around school, and I'm like, oh, thank God, like he's fine.
Yeah,
he's fine.
Absolutely. Oh, glad he's doing well, because that is scary.
Yeah, he went down, but he's fine.
So Benson Badasses will be Ty Foster, 10 tackles per game average. That is awesome. Good pick. All right, let's see. And now we have, maybe we should do let's do our games of the week picks real quick, and then we'll go to the Incarnate Elite. That's a pretty good spot to end on.
A little bit longer podcast, because we have a couple more news segments. So, but let's do the game of the week just in case anybody wants to
watch, tune in. So the first game of the week we got is, and I try to pick games that are, related to the Southland Conference. We got Northwestern State at South Alabama. This game kicks off at 6:30 p.m. Tomorrow, or today, rather, on Thursday, 9/12. So be sure and tune in for that. But what are y'all's picks for this?
I'm going to go with Northwestern State.
I'm going to go with South Alabama.
All right. I'm going to make some notes here because I'm also
what do you call it? a score pick, but I will pick Northwestern State.
Yeah, I'm not gonna make I haven't done my research on these two teams, so I'm just going with South Alabama.
Actually, I'm gonna switch mine up. I'm gonna go with South Alabama too. Actually, I like that. I'm gonna be a contrarian to Joel for this week, at least for that one game.
Okay.
So we got Abilene Christian at Northern Colorado.
Go for it.
What do y'all think? This is Saturday at 3 p.m.
Okay, so I'll go first. The way they play it up in Lubbock just shows about a lot of character and who they're gonna be this year as a football team. So I got ACU winning by landslide.
I'm gonna go with that as well. I got ACU winning on that one.
Joel? Yeah, I don't know when's the last time Northern Colorado won a football game, so I'm gonna go with ACU.
Let's go with ACU. Yep. All right. Next we got Eastern Washington at Southeast Louisiana, 6 p.m. kickoff. This is on Saturday, ESPN Plus.
You know what? Give me the upset. I'm gonna go with Southeastern Louisiana. Give me them.
Okay.
That's my upset of the week.
I'm going to do the Eagles, Eastern Washington.
I just can't see Southeast being a good team this year. So give me their opponent.
Eastern Washington.
Yeah, you give me Eastern Washington.
Awesome. Gotcha. Okay. Let's see. So we got SFA at McNeese, 7 p.m. kickoff, ESPN Plus again.
Give me that. Give me that SFA.
Yeah, I'm gonna do SFA as well on this.
SFA battled it out a few years ago with the Incarnate Word, so give me SFA.
Yeah, I think it will be a close game though.
Yeah,
I don't think it's gonna be like a blowout. I do think it's gonna be a close game.
Yeah, I can see that happening.
Although I'm looking at SFA and they played North American Stallions and they beat them 77-0. So
yeah, that's right. That was that blowout.
North American Stallions.
North American lost. Story. Yeah, they lost to us last year too.
By a lot. It was probably close to that. That was that's an interesting team. We could do a whole thing talking about North American, but yeah.
Yeah.
So we got next Nichols at Sacramento State, 8 p.m. kickoff, 9/14 Saturday, of course. ESPN Plus. And Sac State, this is a team that we know pretty well from the playoffs a few years back. I got Sac State in this one.
I got Nichols. Give me Nichols.
Okay.
They're both owned, so it's not going to be the greatest of games, but it's also going to be a really good game in my opinion. It could be something.
Spears and Guggenheim are back, so give me Nichols.
Yeah.
All right.
And they scored 21 on LSU.
Yeah, they did. That's true.
Right? Johnny, you can't change your pick. I'm just letting you know.
No, I'm not changing mine. Mine's staying on Sac State. I'm still sticking with Sac State on this one. And all right, cool. So we got our list here. Currently, we were debating this earlier, me and Joel, but I think Joel is up 8-5, I think, or 7-5. We were going back and forth. I'll have to do a recount on that. But either way, he's winning by at least 2. So
recount the vote.
So we need to get our our Al Gore moment in here. But let's see. All right. So Joel, do you want to introduce our new segment, or our next new segment?
Okay, so our next segment. Okay, it's a new one. I think it's a little fun. It's gonna be pretty. I think it's gonna be dope. We're calling it the Incarnate Elite. And this is where each of us will pick 4 of the best different topics of each episode. This episode will be the best places around UIW to eat or drink.
Top 4.
And we'll have a legacy one. Our 5th one will be a legacy. And the legacy means like from back in the day. Morgan, you said, you might have one from back in the day. It could be something maybe, and if you don't, you could just add another one that you can think of.
Okay.
But the thing is, we all can't pick the same at all. So
Yeah, it's like once you pick one, that's it.
pick one, that's it. And then we'll put a poll on Twitter to see who, what everybody thinks is the best, the Incarnate Elite. All right. Morgan, you are our guest. We'll let you go.
You guys go first. I got to see how this goes.
Okay.
All right.
I'm a visual person, so I got to see how this works.
All right. That sounds good. That sounds good.
So, all right, I'll go first.
All right, Joel.
One of the best places to eat. It's a staple there around Incarnate. We're not in Incarnate Word. It has to be around Incarnate Word. So, one of the best staples is the 50-50. Broadway 50-50. It's been there forever. I'm gonna go with Broadway 50-50.
Awesome.
The new side, the new.
Then I do mine, right?
Because that's what it is. Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. All right. Yeah. That is such a big staple, the 50-50, and I'm upset you chose it, but you and I had a lot of fun there back in the day, and we still do every now and then when we go back. But I think my pick here is going to be. This is a tough one, but I think my pick for this one is gonna have to be the Winchester. This is the Winchester. Yeah, the current Winchester.
Okay. Winchester is pretty good. They put on some soccer games there.
Mm-hmm. And we have our coaches show there now.
Oh yeah, and we have our coaches show there.
Oh yeah, that's true. Okay, so I'm gonna go with an on-campus spot because I don't go off campus for
Okay, that's
eating.
pretty good.
Give me Luciano's.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Luciano's. Okay, Lucy.
That's the one that's in Red's Pub or whatever, right? Like in the
basement area of the SEC.
That's right. Oh man.
I'm writing that.
I like how y'all have Luciano's. That is awesome.
Yeah, because that's part of the new student center, right?
That is, yeah, it's the basement.
Yep. And we also have Panera.
No, where did y'all get Panera?
Yeah, we have Panera.
Dang.
That's awesome.
All we had was Chick-fil-A.
I know, we had Chick-fil-A and what was that called?
Chick-fil-A.
And Hortensia's, which was like this little Starbucks or whatever in the library.
It's still there.
It's still there.
Hortensia's is still there. My dad, he's a loan officer, and so he can work from anywhere. So he waits for me at that little table spot right by Hortensia's.
Oh,
that's awesome.
The tables inside Hortensia's are now gone.
What?
Yeah.
So what's in there now?
Snacks.
Really?
Wait,
so you can't sit inside. You can't sit inside anymore and eat.
Nope.
Wow.
Dang,
yeah.
I ate a lot over there back in the day.
You need a...
Yeah, I know. I used to eat a lot over there last semester.
Wow. This fall, you're going to have to give us a tour again, dude.
Oh, I feel like it.
Johnny and I graduated in 2013.
Yeah,
okay.
2013.
We're at our bachelor.
Okay. So I'm actually in the ABM program.
Nice.
So I'm there for another 4 years.
Johnny, that's what you got, right?
That's funny you mentioned that because I would have done the ABM had it been around. They brought the ABM in like our last semester of like our senior year. So I just did a full master's degree. I did it in a year and a half, but like I just did the regular thing because in order to do the ABM, I would have to add on more hours. It wouldn't make sense. So I just went back. But yeah. That's awesome. The ABM's the way to go.
Yes. I didn't even know I was in the ABM until my advisor told me last semester. So
Hey,
I
good
thought I
place
had
to
like
be.
3 years. I thought I had like 3 years left, but I technically have 4.
Nice. That's a good place to be, though. I mean, still, you can graduate with the master's, and yeah, it'll be faster than having to go back and find another master's to go
Exactly.
to. So
Yeah,
that's awesome.
it's gonna be good, dude. That's awesome. All right, my second one.
Yep. Who you got?
It's a little bit newer, but it's still close to UIW. It's gonna be Growler Station.
Ooh, I like that one.
They got some good pizza there. I'll tell you that.
I like the Growler Station. That is a good pick. That is a good pick. Okay. I like that one a lot. So for mine, I'm gonna go with. I mean, you and I both like barbecue, and this wasn't there when we were there, but had it been there when we were there, we'd be there all the time. Smoke Shack.
Smoke Shack.
On campus or off campus?
That one's off campus.
Okay. That one's down the street. Yeah, it's like across the Whitty.
It's walkable. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, it's pretty walkable. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a good one right there.
Yeah, I love their brisket mac and cheese. That is,
yeah. That's pretty good.
that's so good.
All right, Morgan, what you got?
Give me the low key spot next to Luciano's. Panera bread.
Oh,
Panera.
That's awesome.
That is awesome. Yeah, man, I'm glad we didn't do on campus because we would just be getting roasted.
You know what's gonna happen? Morgan will get all his homies to like vote on Twitter.
I know.
This is what it is.
Hey, we have 2 PlayStation 5s in there now.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. Okay, yeah. That's for sure gonna be a winner.
Yeah, we had one pool table, I think.
And we have 4. We have 3 pool tables in there.
Oh,
3 of them, you say? Oh,
yeah.
Man. Okay. Now clear this up for me. Can you drink beer? Is there like beer served in the basement of Reds or of the student center?
I'm not sure.
Because I know it's a thing they're calling it Red's Pub, so I'm like, I wonder, because I know you used to be able to drink at the Chick-fil-A under the chapel back in the day, and that was always interesting to me. But
at the ICC?
The ICC, the top of the hill one.
Top of the hill, yeah, top of the hill.
I am not sure.
Man, yeah, but that's awesome. Yeah, whenever Joel and I go to watch a game, we always go and check out the SEC because that's an awesome building. I'm very happy that y'all have that now.
Yes.
All right, so we're all picking only 4 in a legacy. Morgan, you can pick a 5th one, but
yeah,
we're on our 3rd round now.
3rd round.
I'm gonna go with Old Faithful, Central Market. That's
that's a good
Old Faithful, Central Market. I beat you to that one, didn't I, Morgan?
You got me on that one too. I was gonna say that. Oh man. Okay. All right. That is a good one. And you and I spent quite a lot of time at Central Market back in the day, and that is a place where we get beer at.
Freshman, sophomore, junior, and a little bit more senior year after we turned 20.
Quite a bit more senior year.
Okay, this is not really a restaurant per se. I don't know how you would classify it.
Okay.
But in my opinion, they have the best food that a college student can afford.
Okay.
Give me Whole Foods.
Hey.
Ooh, hey, that's a good one. I like that, and it's good healthy food also.
Whole Foods.
Whole Foods is a good one.
Writing that down. That's a good one.
Okay. I like that one.
Yeah.
All right. For mine,
What you got, Johnny?
I'm gonna have to do, and like this is tough for me because I know one that's gonna give me a lot of votes, but I also know one that like is just here, like in El Corazon. So like I feel like I have to say that because you and I used to go here back in the day all the time, and we all
What are you talking about?
Man, Stoneworks.
Stonemark.
Stonemark.
Yeah, that's a good one. We used to go there all the time. Dang.
Great place to watch a game too.
Great place to watch a game. Dang. All right, so we're on the 4th round. That's a good one. Dang it, that was my next one. All right, give me oh, I know.
Okay.
I got one. All right. Morgan, I don't even know if you know about this one, but this one used to be closer. Now it's still in Alamo Heights area.
It's a good one.
I'm gonna pick Pizza Classics.
I knew it was coming. Soon as you said that.
Classics. So Pizza Classics. We used to do KUIW on a Friday night. We had a guy that came in. We had a guy that came in, and I mean, he was part of our program, obviously, but he was really into DJing. So he would DJ from like 8 to midnight, and we'll order Pizza Classics every Friday, and almost every Friday. And Pizza Classics is like, yo, you get a large. If you pick it up, we'll give you a second large for free.
Okay.
So I remember back in the day, a lot of comm people knew it, a lot of athletes knew it, a lot of nursing students knew it. So I'm gonna go with, it's not as close, but it's still pretty close. It's still close.
Yeah.
It's just not as close, I guess.
That's a good one.
Now it looks nice. Now it looks nice. Now it looks nice. It used to not look nice. It used to be next to a gas station, and no offense, Pizza Classics, if you're listening to me, but you're kind of gambling if you get sick or not.
I remember that. Yeah.
But nowadays, they're tip-top shape. I mean, I still would have ate it either way, but like they're tip-top shape. So.
I mean, it was free back in the day whenever it was at KUIW. So like, I mean, I still ate it too.
Man. One more regular one.
One more regular one?
For me, I would have to say Native Grill and Wings.
Ooh.
Native Grill and Wings. Oh man, where is that at?
Yeah, where is that? I haven't heard of this one.
It's a low key spot, over on Wurzbach Road.
Okay.
And so not close to the campus, but it's in San Antonio, and my buddy, because I also did KUIW last semester, and my buddy, who was my co-host at the time, he had his surprise graduation party at that place.
Wow.
That's and apparently it's been around for like 50 plus years or something.
Dang. Okay. That's awesome.
We'll give that out.
Yes.
We're gonna talk to them. Native Grill and Wings.
We gotta go check that place out. That sounds good.
I thought I wouldn't like it, but I loved it.
Okay, cool. I gotta try more of the grill. I'm weird. I'm not really
a wing guy.
Wing person. Yeah.
Oh, and they had this bomb pizza. Oh my god.
Yeah. All right. I got you. I'm looking it up right now. Yeah. Gotta try it out. Johnny, next time you're in town.
That's what we're gonna do. Yeah, gotta go see a game there, get some food there or something. Get some food.
Yeah.
That's awesome. All right, I got mine, and I feel like it'd be a travesty to leave them off of here, which is why I'm gonna put them on here. I went there a lot in undergrad, not so much I think when I was an upperclassman and then grad school, but I went there a lot in undergrad. Is Cheesy Jane's.
Oh, Cheesy Jane's.
I gotta say it because
still there. Yeah.
It's still there. I think that's a good one to put on there.
I've never heard of that place.
Yeah, it's about a walk from campus.
Pretty much across the street. Yeah, almost like it's like adjacent. Yeah, it's right there still. Yeah, it's a good burger spot. Very cheesy.
Very cheesy. But good.
Right. Yeah. So we all got 4, 4, and 4.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna choose technically an honorable mention, but for Johnny and I, it's gonna be a legacy one where it's like they're no longer there.
Yeah.
Morgan, you can pick anything you want that we haven't already said. For me, I'm choosing this for the not so old heads, but this is for back in the day. This is for them Lion and Rose guys over there. Get a little cigar over there.
Oh man, I miss that.
Yeah.
I miss that. There were so many times where you and I would go and have a cigar there, like when we were seniors.
Yeah.
And that would just be a lot of fun. Yeah, Lion and Rose. Mine, it's a legacy. And what's funny is that I'm going to say it, and everyone's going to be like, "Oh, well, that's already been said." But like, I want to say it because I'm going to say pre-fire 50-50. So like before the fire happened at the Broadway 50-50. So back when they used to have the UIW helmet up and everything, which by the way, none of us mentioned this. And I'm just going to say this right now. None of us mentioned this, but Torchies is not on any of our lists, but just shout out to them because like they got that Cardinal helmet up there and I like that.
Oh, yeah, they've had that for a while too. So yeah, shout out to Torchies.
Yeah.
Shout out to Torchies. Shout out to Burleson. They have the UIW flag there.
Ooh, absolutely.
Shout out to Guillermo's. He's always trying to play UIW
flag
as he can.
Games. Guillermo's is awesome.
Yeah, the Banderillas is about to come back. Is about to come to Broadway, so I'm gonna try to get them to do something. So,
ooh, at the Cottage too. I like the Cottage. We went there after a game too, and I've only been there once, which is why it wasn't on my list. But I definitely want to go back there.
Yeah. All right, Morgan, what's your last and final one? Best place to eat, drink, or whatever. Eat in your case.
So,
I
want to go Chopsticks.
That's a good one.
That's a place that my sister and I used to go back to. But we used to go back in the day, so we don't go there anymore. I don't even think they're around in our area anymore. So it's going out of business.
Yeah, that's sad actually. Yeah, there's the one on 410, right? Is that the one on? At least I know there's one on 410. I think. Is that the one you're thinking of?
I don't know. I'm not.
Yeah, 410. So yeah, but yeah, dude, that's good.
That's awesome. Yeah. Right, that's a good choice.
All right.
Okay, we got our Incarnate Elite.
So we're gonna post all these up on a little graph and then put a little poll on Twitter. See what some people say, what they think.
Mm-hmm. Awesome.
Please, participate and all that. Just get a little vote in and let's see what's up. Although Morgan's probably get all his homies to be like, oh, yeah.
I know
all the campus shit. Don't worry about what the growler is like. This is
I smell a rigged election.
606 homies on Instagram. So.
Oh man,
yeah, dude, you're gonna be like, all right, well, it is what it is. Like,
man, okay, that was awesome. But these are all good spots. Okay, yeah. So, and if y'all haven't been to any of these spots, just go check them out because you can't go wrong.
These are all local. If you're on campus, man, just support. They're on campus, and the people that are making it. Just tell them thank you and all that, and
right,
and tell them where you're coming from. The Peck Em Podcast.
Right.
Tell them where you're coming from. Definitely do that. Yeah, we'll get a little sponsorship or something.
Right.
Free food. I don't know.
Something like yeah, something like that. I don't know. Yeah, but. All right. So we have one more segment, and I guess I'll introduce this one because it's my turn for this and this week, and we're going to go through turns on this. But we have a segment called the Hilltop Heat, which is where we rant about something UIW related, something that we just wish either UIW had. Or something
for the community within UIW.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What is yours, Johnny? I don't really necessarily have one this week. I have one in general, but you took the floor this week.
So my Hilltop Heat here is number one. Actually, just the only one is we don't have a UIW beer. Like Southern Illinois University, who are playing this week, has the Saluki Pale Ale and the King Cream Ale. They have Saluki Brewing. I know the Demons, Western State, they have a beer as well. I think Nichols has one. There's a bunch of teams, not just in the Southland, but like FCS teams around the nation. SDSU has their own beer. There's so many FCS teams that have a branded beer. Y'all know I'm getting my PhD currently at Texas Tech. There's a Red Raider Ale. Obviously, A&M has has their 12th man, beer. And Stephen like SFA has one. Yeah, Stephen F. I mean, so many.
And that's on their website. Like that's like on their website. Like, you in it. the SFA State University website. Like,
That's crazy.
like it says Fredonia Breweries. Excuse me if I'm saying it wrong.
Yeah.
Rev, if you're listening to us, Fredonia Brewery is partnered to create a new like even they have one. Like
Purple Lights is what that
they're
one's called.
Nacogdoches, dude. I mean, I get there's not a whole bunch of things going on in Nacogdoches, but like, come on, like
How many breweries do we have in San Antonio? We have tons of them. I mean, surely one of them will make us a beer. If not, Joel, maybe you can brew us one or something.
well, you know what? Maybe I'll brew us one and we'll
Yeah.
something.
Oh man, the podcast pale ale. I don't know, the Peck Em Pale Ale. There we go.
Peck Em Pale Ale. Oh, there we go. The Peck Em Pale Ale. There we go. Yeah, that's a good one, Joe. That's a good little Hilltop Heat.
That's
Come
some
on,
heat.
San Antonio, get us something.
We need a beer, a UIW beer. I don't think UTSA has one either, which is fine because we should have one first. So, yeah.
I think UTSA has one.
Do they have one?
I think so.
No, I don't. I haven't heard about a UTSA beer.
Yeah, you might be right. I don't know.
I don't think they do. I know Bud Light, the limited edition.
Oh,
Birds
Bud
Up
Light does.
thing,
Yeah, you're right. Bud Light does the.
but it
Oh,
wasn't
you know
like.
what? No, Alamo Beer Hefty Triple IPA, inspired by UTSA Roadrunner. Okay.
Oh,
Never
the
mind.
Birds of Prey. I see it. Bird of Prey.
But that one's high. That's 10.5. I don't think I'll be drinking that one.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be potentially drinking one of that one.
Yeah.
Maybe two and be done.
Yeah, that one is called a lift or
And make sure you got an Uber on the way back.
yeah. What about you, Morgan? I'm good this week. Maybe next week I'll have something. But Morgan, do you have any
rants?
anything you want to get off your chest?
Yes. So I actually use a wheelchair for mobility and accessibility
Mhm.
is a terrible thing. I love the school. I love the people.
Yeah.
But accessibility is terrible.
Dang.
Mhm.
Still?
Let me tell you what
It was
happened. And it's
bad
out
then.
of control. It's out of control. It's out of the Student Disability Services control. But they're doing some construction in the little courtyard
Mhm.
on the side of administration building
Mhm.
because it's now all pavement, almost
Mhm.
all pavement. And they took off the push to open button to the door.
Oh,
What?
dang.
Why would they do that?
I don't know. They took it away for a whole week.
Oh
Dang.
my gosh. That is, yeah. I mean, I'm not surprised because we had accessibility issues back in the day. But I mean, the fact that it's still bad.
We tried fixing that too. I don't know if
We
you know
did.
that.
We absolutely did.
Johnny was president, and then I was vice president of SGA. Like we tried fixing this.
Yeah.
Oh,
It
you were a
was
student government association?
Yeah, both of
Yeah.
us were, and we
Oh.
tried. Yeah, it's UIW. It's a school. It's a school, and it's very
Our
hard.
fourth straight running back is president of SGA.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah.
Hey, that's awesome. That's awesome. That's some good facts to know. Actually, I like that. That's
Yeah.
awesome. What's his name?
Nick Meehan,
Nick Meehan.
No,
Awesome.
number
Shout out
28.
Okay.
for 28. Shout out. That
Shout
is
out to Nick. Shout out to Nick for continuing it.
current.
Yes.
The legacy going on.
Yes. So
Man.
he just took over for our last president, Benny Mercedes,
Mhm.
who now works for Central San Antonio down in
Okay.
downtown.
Shout out to
And
Central. Yeah.
yeah,
right.
so shout out all that company, and they do some amazing projects down in downtown.
Yeah, no, they're
And,
awesome. Yeah,
And they're an awesome company.
That's awesome.
But
That's really cool.
and another little rant. I don't know if
No, go
they're
ahead.
gonna see this, but
Hey, it is Hilltop.
This is Hilltop Heat. We're bringing the
Hilltop
heat.
Fine.
now let me say this. I love the people in the SDS office. They have helped me since day one.
Mhm.
So I love you. It's nothing against you. But let me tell you what happened today. I got out of class at 10:15 this morning.
Mhm.
I did not get in the elevator until 10:30 a.m.
Oh,
Oh my
dang.
gosh.
because 30 people were in the elevator.
Wait, did you say 30?
15 to 30
15
people.
to 30. Oh my
Wow.
gosh.
Yeah.
Is that even that's over capacity, isn't that?
Like maybe but it was like 3 rides before I got in.
Yeah.
So
Ah.
it had to total in those 3 rides. It had to total at least 30.
Dang.
Oh my
That's
gosh.
wild.
So I did my due diligence.
Mhm.
I called my contacts,
Mhm.
and they're gonna fix that.
Good.
That's
That's
good.
good to hear. At least that's good to hear.
Yeah,
Wow.
but I got frustrated because I had to wait 15 minutes.
Oh, man. Imagine you
Yeah.
had a class like right after that at the
Yeah, if you're rushing to get somewhere, like you're just gonna
or
be
like
late at that point. Like,
appointment or something. Like, yeah.
gosh.
Exactly. And those people that were in the elevator, they just looked at me like, what? Like, what do you like? What?
No,
What do you want me to do?
I
Yeah.
know. Oh my gosh. That is, yeah. That's not Cardinal cool there at all.
No, it's not.
That is
But
not at
anyway,
all.
but other than that, I love the people there. They're awesome. They're friendly. They're kind. It's like one small family.
Yeah,
I
that's
love.
good. That's good.
I love my comm department. They're amazing people. You know, it's a big family. It's a small family. You know, we're all close, connected, and all departments, work with each other, whether it's UIW TV, KUIW, Logos, any department that functions within the comm department, we all work together in some capacity.
That's good.
That's awesome. That's awesome to hear. Yeah, even when Joel and I were there, it was a small, tight knit community, and I'm glad to hear it's like that still. And yeah, not glad to hear about the accessibility thing. Like, I mean, that should have been changed a long time ago.
Yeah.
Definitely not that. Right.
Oh, and
On the comp side, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, on the comp side.
But that's still something.
and we just won 15 Lone Star Emmys.
Hey, there we go. Awesome. Shout out to UIW Comp.
Shout out to UIW Comp. Shout out to Morgan. How about that?
Yeah, shout out to Morgan.
Hey.
Shout out to Morgan for being here and recording this with us, even as we
Giving
go
us some
pretty late.
exclusives.
Hey, it's worth it. I love talking about UIW football. I told everybody, because I'm friends with almost everybody in the media industry that shows up to the games, so they know me by now. And I'm like, my goal by the time I leave here is to make sure everybody in the country knows who UIW football is.
There we go.
That's a great goal. That's our goal too. We love that.
Because not enough people know about UIW football.
It's slowly. I mean, a few years ago, I mean, Barstool had mentioned the UIW, so that was kind of cool.
Mhm.
Recently on the Dan Bellatar show, Pablo had mentioned them. I think a few times we've been on ESPN, like top 10 type thing. But yeah, you're right. You're right. So that's a really good goal.
Absolutely.
That would be great. That would be great to hear. And then now, especially with Cam Ward.
Yeah, at Miami
Killing
right now.
it.
Yeah.
Oh man,
That's
that whole Cam Ward is great quarterback. I'm not gonna take that away from him. Great quarterback, but that whole situation, I find it messy in a way, because it's like he commits to another school, then decides, hey, I'm going into the NFL draft, but then ends up in Miami. Like, how did you put out a video saying you're going into the draft, but then end up at Miami?
Hey.
Like, what happened?
It's all them loopholes, but
Yeah.
He's doing him. He's getting his numbers up.
Exactly. But he's gonna be a great quarterback in the league one day.
Absolutely.
Someday.
Hopefully.
But so is our guy Zach Calzada, if he doesn't give up on football.
Yeah.
Yep.
Which I don't anticipate him doing. But our guy Zach, he's gonna be there. And we have some other quarterbacks that you guys do not know about right now that I'm looking forward to. Just a little teaser for the future. We have a guy that's a freshman who put up 3,465 yards in his senior season at Melissa, Texas. Melissa High School Cardinal, Trevor Ham.
Ooh, awesome.
Okay.
Yeah. And if things don't go south for next season for whatever reason, we should expect former South San quarterback Richard Torres starting.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Next season.
Oh yeah, he's good. We watched him play a few games last season. He's really good.
Well, I mean, this day and age with the portal and stuff, they could get somebody.
Yeah, in theory.
Yeah.
But in my opinion, I feel like it's Torres' team once Calzada goes on to his next chapter, onto the next chapter of his life.
Awesome. Yeah. Well,
you mentioned before that whole Calzada family, they are full of athletic people. His sister, Colleen, just helped a clean sweep in soccer at A&M.
That's right. That's right.
Dang. She's an amazing soccer player.
Yeah.
So absolutely. Shout out to that.
Shout out to them. Yeah. Soccer was my sport growing up. So yeah,
that's right.
Yes.
So
that's right.
Well, you know what? We got a guy stashed away as a QB, and you know what? We got a guy in you. We got Morgan.
That's right.
That's who we got as well.
Our other Benson Badass of the week is Morgan.
Our other Benson Badass of the week.
Thank you guys.
Thank you for being with us, and Deed, we'll love to chat again.
Yes.
If you ever need anything, let us know. And
absolutely,
I gotta plug our logos real quick because
go ahead. For sure.
So I'm a logos writer. This past year I had 14 articles published as a freshman.
That's awesome.
14 articles, and so it's a very difficult thing to do as a freshman to get that many articles published.
Absolutely.
And actually, another thing, I actually started as a volunteer straight out of high school. So I actually had 2 articles published as a high school senior, posted into the logos.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well,
okay, that's awesome.
With Mr. Mercer?
With Mr. Mercer.
Wow.
That's awesome.
Mr. Mercer has the best memory I've ever been around.
Yeah.
So nice.
Yes, and he, even though he's retired now, he still calls to check up on me, and
that's him.
He checks up on me from time to time. He asks, how's the logos doing? And I'm like, I'm not sure. I don't have a hand in that. I just do the articles. I don't do the layout. So
you're running it soon enough. Don't you worry.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, but I actually I gotta shout out my girl Paige Heller. She is our editor, our assistant. Yeah, she's our assistant editor. She's our layout person, and she does it all for the logos. She is the one that makes me look good. Yeah. And with the final edits, she has the final say in my articles. So, she makes me look good. So shout out to Paige. Without her, this logos would probably not be here right now.
Shout out to Paige for keeping the
shout out to Paige.
Yes, and shout out to our amazing photographers too.
Yeah, absolutely.
They provide me with some amazing photos that I don't even get because of where I sit. So shout out to them because
Yeah.
I don't even get to see what photos get put in my article until my article gets published.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going in kind of blind in terms of photos until everything gets released. So shout out to our photographers because they're another piece to this big gigantic logos puzzle.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, definitely. Shout out to the
And shout out Brian
photographers.
Collister. I love that guy. He's an amazing dude. Amazing dude. New guy that has succeeded Mr. Mercer. Has taken Mr.
That's a big
has
shoes
taken-
right there.
This is a big shoes to fill right there.
Yes, and
Shout out to him. Yeah. It's one of the biggest
and
wing. I'll tell you that.
Mhm.
yeah, and
The biggest one.
yeah, and the way his brain works is second to none. And it's just I've taken every moment of what he has to say, and he's an amazing person. Before he became a professor, he was in the media for 25 years.
Yeah.
He uncovered some big fraud case. He is working on he's working on a documentary right now of a case where this lady got arrested and the cop got kind of aggressive, so he discovered some fishy stuff that wasn't in the police report, and he finds everything and anything.
Awesome.
Good.
Well, shout out to him
Brian.
as well.
Yeah, so shout out Mr. Collister. I love that guy. He's an amazing
Mr.
dude.
Collister.
Yeah.
Shout out Mr. Collister.
Well, as we wrap this up again, we want to give a shout out to you. Thank you for
Of course.
for being on here with us and giving us some insight and you got to take us when Johnny, I'm in town, but when Johnny's in town, you got to take us on a new tour.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
We got to go to the
For
campus
sure.
again.
New tour.
For sure. Oh, and I don't know. I guess I gotta give a shout out to my guy Trey Gwen. Love that dude. I love that dude.
Shout out Trey.
Yes. Without
Definitely.
him, UIW Com does not work. He does it all. He's the one that brought Run Club to life among Susanna Alford and some other students. So shout out to them too, because without them, this UIW Com department probably doesn't function the way it does. So shout out to them because they are amazing people. And he was talking to me last night and he said, "Hey, come talk to my class, my morning class, and talk about your story." So I'm gonna go do that in the future, and it's gonna be fun because I've met some amazing people from his classes, and I look forward to taking interpersonal communications with him in the spring.
Awesome. Shout out Trey.
Yes.
That is awesome.
Yes.
All right. Well, thank you again for being here.
Yes.
And obviously we're looking forward to the game this weekend. We got our predictions down. We've done our recaps. I think we're ready. Let's beat SIU this weekend and have a fun weekend.
Yes. Hey, as long as they stop that running game, we should be good.
Stop that running game. We'll be good to go.
Yes.
We'll do it.
All right. Well, until next time, thank you all for tuning in and Peck 'em.
Peck 'em.